was giving an interview before about what I like most about it. What I like most about this attraction in general is that we had some really fun ideas for these storytelling elements, and they never said no. They said, cool, how can we get it done in time? So it's all been about getting it done in time, you know? But they never said we couldn't do things. They never said that's too much. They never did any of that. It's always been, yeah, how do we do it? We find a way. And this is one of those elements that, do you need to have an animatronic hexel in here? Probably not, but it's awesome. You know, and I think people will love it because I love it.
Okay, new story of Verbolten. Different. So we're going to lose 379 things, and we're going to get to the 4-day round.
There's not mini golf.
Broom is pretty easy up here.
And actually, Frau's living room should go through Frau's house. It's kind of cool. You leave in Frau's, you go past her house to go in to get the visitor center. You come back for her house on the way out. It's a bit more expanded gift shop, kind of the way it was back in the original version. Rooms that had been to Verbolten circa 2008, whatever it was, or 16. And I'd like to ask you guys, if you guys seem to be a bunch of fans, what is it that you remembered most about Verbolten that you might like to see again in some way, maybe an Easter egg in the ride? Like, yes. Alvita's of course. What else is cool that you remember?
I like the camera footage of the forest.
Yeah, I got an
Showing
idea for that too. If I can find it,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that. But if I get it, I got an idea for that too. Great idea. Anyone?
I mean, the great audio. Don't look back. I should rate the black forest.
Don't look back. Yeah. I got you.
The red wolf eyes.
The red what?
In the show building, they used to have
The red wolf eyes?
Wolf eyes to light up like rock track.
Sometimes, if you got the wolf sequence, they did.
Free sequence.
Right. Yeah. Anything else iconic you guys remember? Yes, sir.
This would be going all the way back to the original Big Bad Wolf.
Yeah.
Doing the speed of fright. As
Speed
they
of
always
fright?
did, and now get ready to go the speed of fright.
Fun. I love to reference old coasters. If you guys been to Burgermeister's, you'll see a lot of our work there. A lot of Easter eggs in there came out of our offices and our people, our creative team. So it's fun. I love it.
I'm definitely with Andrew. I like the footage of the Black Forest, like coming alive, like the black and white footage that was in what's now Broom's closet.
Okay. Yeah.
That was always like a cool, creepy part.
Yeah. And no answer. There's just it was kind of there if you saw it.
Yeah.
There's no real. They didn't tell you what it was, but you kind of figured it out.
Like you're just in the queue and you can watch the forest.
Oh yeah.
The sound of the winds.
Yeah.
Like howling. Yeah.
Cool. All right, cool. That's all I've got, guys. If you have questions, I'm still here. I'll be at the event for a little while longer as well. Thanks for coming, and enjoy the ride in spring, I guess we'll call it.
On this one, the wrong turn. So forbidden turn. What does that mean? And you're about to see a spot where, and you can see the rendering here, where there'll be a giant billboard, and there'll actually be a track that will veer off to the left, which is not there now, but will very much resemble, the existing track. And you'll see the tours around the Black Forest, and our host, Frau Hexel, who you guys will meet momentarily, will tell you, do not turn right, because when you turn right, you're going to enter, this forest here with all the foreboding, elements of the ride. So this is really a critical part as you leave the station out. Do not turn right. Spoiler alert, of course you do turn right. You probably figured that out. And then on into the show building. So elements from the Q house here to this turn, the actual facade of the show building, which you can see in the upper right there. And then of course, once you're in the building as well. So those are where the main, kind of pieces happen. But lots of surprises once you're in there. The ride itself, I think most know, but the ride itself is the same. So the track, all of the elements of the ride, that stays consistent. It's more about the experience and all the elements that you're witnessing as you go through the journey. So
Richard Smith, Guernsey Tingle's creative director, and we do a lot of theme park work, especially at Busch Gardens. We did a couple other rides before. This is Verbolten Forbidden Turn. Now, originally it was Gunter and Gerda, and they were in charge of this place, and they rented out cars to you. But magically, they've disappeared. We're not sure exactly how or where. They're probably in the Black Forest somewhere. A tree ate them. Maybe Frau Hexel had something to do with it. We're not sure, but they're gone, and Frau Hexel's in charge. This is Frau Hexel's Magical Motor Tour. Verbolten Frau Hexel's Magical Motor Tour. And the difference here now is she has these cars enchanted, so they'll take you on a tour as long as you don't mess it up. Everything will be fine. Just don't think about turning right. Don't confuse the cars. They know what they're supposed to do. Just stay with the cars. I've already enchanted them. Everything's fine. Now, the difference to the scenic here is this first building in front is Hexel's house. These are her stables. This is her house. Let's walk by these and we'll get started by the main ID sign up by the porch. Okay, so we're at the beginning of the ride, and we're gonna have the same Porsche here. He was painted again. Some of the signage is going to change. It'll still be Verbolten, Forbidden Turn, but there's some other billboards back here that advertise perhaps some tours that came before. Hexel had another tour. There was a talking tree tour, and she enchanted some trees maybe that didn't turn out so well. So it's probably just don't turn right, everything will be fine. Just make sure, turn left, let the cars guide you, everything's fine. Don't think about turning right. Don't mess with the cars. They've got this. I've got them enchanted. You'll be okay. You can just turn left. Whatever it says, a big gnome out there with an arrow on his head, you can't miss him. Turn left. Follow the arrow, you'll be fine. So, visitor center. It's the visitor center from before. Gunther and Gerda were here. It's Frau Hexel's visitor center now. Her magical motor tours start here. You're going to rent your cars here, then go to the garage and pick them up, and then go off on your magical tour. This is the first place where you'll get to see Frau Hexel herself. There'll be some signage out front, but this is the real Frau Hexel, and we actually have an animatronic in here. She's going to be awesome. She talks to you. She has cool stuff to say. Listen to her. She has some good advice for you, probably about not turning right, I'm just saying, but probably some other things too. So a lot of the signage will change. Some of the props will change. This will be gone over and brushed up and freshened. But the big thing is inside of this ticket booth will be an actual Frau Hexel, life-size and talking to you. I think the more direct Frau Hexel, because when she moved in, she changed a few things. But the coolest thing in this building will be Frau herself inside this box. This is where her visitor center. She'll be cleaning up probably, and she's got lots of cool stuff to say. And hey guys, we're in a regional park. We get an animatronic figure that actually does things and talk to you. I know it's been done elsewhere, but it's not that easy. And Busch Gardens has allowed us to do some really cool stuff on this ride. I was giving an interview before about what I like most about it. What I like most about this attraction in general is that we had some really fun ideas for these storytelling elements, and they never said no. They said, cool, how can we get it done in time? So it's all been about getting it done in time, you know? But they never said we couldn't do things. They never said that's too much. They never did any of that. It's always been, yeah, how do we do it? We find a way. And this is one of those elements that, do you need to have an animatronic Hexel in here? Probably not, but it's awesome. You know, and I think people will love it because I love it. I can't wait to see her actually moving. We've seen the videos of her. We've got one Frau you guys have already seen on the drop sequence. That is the static Frau almost. She doesn't do a whole lot. She's limited motion. This one is a full action motion animatronic figure that will talk to you and blink eyes and look at you and all the cool stuff. But in this case, we only see Frau. We don't know where Broom is. She keeps calling out for Broom, which by the way for you is spelled B-R-umlauted-U-M. It's Broom is his name. So Frau keeps calling for Broom, but Broom's not coming. Where's Broom at? We see him in the picture. She's calling to him. He's not coming. She's frustrated by Broom not coming. That's another one of her gags in here. But that's going to be all about Broom and Hexel and her backstory in here, how not to turn right. All the posters in here, a lot of them will change dramatically. It might be altered in some way. So this will be the same room, but definitely colored to be more about the new storyline, and Frau's definitely taken over. So let's go into the next room where we do meet Broom in Broom's closet. He moves around, he talks, he says things, but of course he's Broom, he has no lips, so you may not be able to understand him. He's talking Broom language. He's got no teeth. What do you want him to do? So Broom will be here in a Broom closet, and he's constantly trying to get to Hexel because she keeps calling, and you'll see him do things in here and wake up and fall asleep and all kinds of cool gags with Broom. This is Frau Hexel's office, her janitor's closet per se, so she'll have a lot of janitor's stuff in here. There'll be maps in here. There'll be some allusions to her witchiness, but she might be a witch, probably. She does have a broom. And you'll see Broom himself. So you spend a lot of time in here, and Broom's super awesome. I absolutely love Broom. I will really admit that. He's my favorite character. And so I spent a lot of time making Broom right, and these guys that worked on Broom, the whole creative team that did this, they're awesome. So that's Broom's closet. It's largely the same kind of feel, but it'll be more janitorial and more up-to-date and actually have a broom in it which does things and says stuff to it, which that'll be pretty cool. So let's move on to the, oh yes sir, Steve.
Who does the voiceover for Broom?
Ha, that's a secret.
Okay.
I would tell you, but I'd have to kill you. You know,
I'm okay. I've lived a good life.
Broom's fun. He's a secret. Hexel's good too, but yeah, well, I don't know if I'll answer that question either, but Hexel's like, we recorded Hexel, we've got all of her stuff done, she's been recorded, most of her script in there, it's all been written, but it's not being recorded, 80% of it's done, and it's fun. It's theme park punny fun, and we just had a blast with it. It's a good time. Electrical motor cars come through, you run up on them, or you load up on them. And they are under Frau's power. They've been enchanted. Everything's fine. That's why you don't have a driver. You don't need a steering wheel. Frau's got it. He's enchanted. Just remember, like, what? Don't think about turning right. Right? We all got that? Don't. Because the cars will be fine. Just don't confuse them. They're a little testy. They're okay though. They turn left. They know where they're supposed to go. They'll follow the arrows. They'll follow the gnome. Everything's great. What's changed in this room is not a ton. We've changed a lot of the proppage on the back side there. That'll be a little different. I love these stuff, so everything you see is still here. It's probably going to stay here because it looks awesome. We try to retain a lot of the existing themings. It was done really well. We're going to repaint the things that need to be painted. The color in here might change, but nothing that's scenically painted is going to change. It's the plan. Again, until we open up, we don't know exactly, but that's the plan currently. The signage will change. We have the signage done and revamped to be more Frau Hexely. It'll look awesome in Germanic and kind of push away from the previous highway Autobahn version. So this is more about Frau Hexel and her magical cars. That's why most of it stays the same in here. The voices in here are going to be Hexel. So we hear Hexel's voice again. Oh, the big thing is these 3 holes here will be screens and they'll be active. And these screens will have more storytelling devices. And you'll see Frau and Broom together doing funny things, being awesome because they're best friends and all that stuff. And that's what happens up there. It keeps you busy while you're waiting for the train to come through and guide you with your magical motors. And I think that's all for this room. Any questions here before we go back out? Yes?
Will it still say Auf Wiedersehen?
Often. I say that because I know we're going to say it in the station. I know there'll be some other times I think it'll be funny to say it, so stay tuned. A lot of the Easter eggs come in the very end, and I don't think about them until we do them. And we have a whole creative team, a bunch of people, and somebody else say, hey, Rich, what do I do this here? What do I do this here? And the sound guy will have something to say, or whatever. And we get ideas as the project goes on. The great thing about these projects is we don't have it all done when we start construction. We always say it's not done until it's open, and sometimes even after that, because we think of ideas while it's open. Like, oh, we didn't get them in time, but we'll come back and install stuff. Especially on mine, you guys may have seen other attractions where something will pop up a few weeks after it opened. That's because either me, myself personally, or one of our team members didn't have enough time to get it done before we had to open, so we still want that story beat in there, so we install it later. But that's what happens very late in the game. It might be an Auf Wiedersehen that I think about. I might find a new way to put it in now. But what I do like about that is I think that's the most iconic thing from a voice standpoint, from a sound standpoint on the ride is the Auf Wiedersehen. We wanted to make sure that was still here. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, I probably know a big question that a lot of people are asking is the ride spool as you dispatch, is it going to stay the same?
I don't think it's going to be exactly the same because something has to change. Some things have to change. But I don't know how to answer that. Will it be exact? No. Will it be very similar, almost the same, perhaps in Hexel's voice instead? Probably. Will we use the original Auf Wiedersehen from Gerda? I'm not sure yet, because Hexel's very similar to Gerda, and you may not even know the difference between the two, but we have them all, and we could use them if we wanted to. Whether it fits in the story is what's going to happen. If it's a good idea, it'll stay there. If it's not, then it'll be Hexel probably. But again, that stuff happens at the very end. Yes?
So I think I have an idea of what happens if you turn right.
Yes.
What happens if you look back and turn right simultaneously?
Get a whiplash, maybe.
You just need to calm down.
You gotta stop thinking about turning right. You're gonna confuse the cars.
Oh, yeah.
Just let the cars do their thing. Stop thinking about right.
Hi there, we're here with Richard Smith from Guernsey Tingle Architects at Busch Gardens Williamsburg for the hard hat tour of Verbolten. Hi Richard, can you tell us what the process has been like from the beginning?
Sure. I'm Richard Smith, Guernsey Tingle Architects Creative Director, and the process started when we first got Verbolten. We knew we were going to rehash Verbolten. We knew we were going to work with the existing track, the existing ride action, and then how do we tell a new story around that, and how can we get done in time for park open?
What has it been like working with Busch Gardens Williamsburg again on this park for you personally?
Me personally, we've got a long experience with Busch Gardens. We've known these guys for a decade or more. We've done a bunch of attractions with them. It's a great team, so we know a lot of the players. The contractor we know, the team here at Busch Gardens we know very well. So getting back to them, it's like getting the team back together. We just came hot off of Big Bad Wolf, so we're doing another attraction which is not too far away from Big Bad Wolf. It's really been fun to work with these guys. This time we get to do a lot more storytelling. We have a lot more, I guess, immersion to play with. I wouldn't say our budget is higher, but we get to do a lot more things. They never said no. So the great thing about this attraction was that corporate, when we had an idea, they didn't say no. They just said, how can we get it done and who do we call? So we got to do a lot of cool things at this attraction we don't typically get to do, especially in a regional park.
Thank you. Can you tell us more about if the track has changed at all or what elements of the ride have changed from the previous iteration?
So that's fun. The ride itself hasn't changed at all. So we did change the ride action, they call it. So all that stuff stays the same. The timings are the same, the drops are the same, but what has changed is every time the ride does something, whether it banks left or bank right or slows to a stop or drops, it all has a purpose and a reason. So instead of having a coaster do its own thing and kind of write a story around it, we have a story written directly for what the coaster is doing. So when it banks right, it's avoiding something or turning towards something. When it slows down, it's slowing down for a reason. When you stop and you drop, there's a reason why you drop now. So we got to tell the story around the existing ride actions. We knew what it did. So we didn't want to change anything because we wanted to tell our story, a different story around the exact same ride action. We knew where everything was, we knew the timing, we knew what the guests were experiencing, and it better helps us tell that story knowing exactly what it's going to feel like before we even write the story.
What will guests experience before they get on the ride, and how has that changed from the previous ride?
Yeah. So that's fun, right? So the queue itself has changed a lot. We use some of the same buildings, but each building has lots more things to do in it, lots more storytelling in it. Now we're telling the story, it used to be Gerda and Gunter, and now Frau Hexel has taken over, and she had a magical motor tour, and she's reading the magical motor tour now, but what happened before that, she had a talking tree tour, and there's an allusion to what happens with a talking tree tour, and maybe that didn't work out so well. Maybe that's why you're not supposed to turn right, so just don't turn right. Make sure you always turn left. Let the cars do their own thing, don't think about it, and all those kinds of things will happen in the queue. You get all those story beats in the queue. It's reinforced every room. It tells you more and more about it. And the cool thing about the queue I like most is that the first building you go into, you get to meet Frau Hexel herself. She's actually talking to you. She's telling you about the story. She's telling you, generally, don't turn right, left. I mean, just always turn left, don't turn right. So there's a lot of those jokes in there. We get to sprinkle in a lot of that. It's a lot more fun, I think, in the visitor center. There's more interaction. You get to see what Frau has to say, and she'll say a lot of things. So you may not see it all on the first run. The second or third time you stand in line, you'll hear the rest of it, I suppose. But then you got the second room, and that's called Broom's Closet. So her best friend, her sidekick, is Broom, which is actually a broom, and it's funny because his name is Broom, spelled with an umlaut, B-R-umlaut-M, Broom, hilarious. And so Broom talks to you too. Broom has certain things to say. Broom's trying to get to Hexel, Hexel's trying to get you to the Broom. So to go back to your question, what changed in the queue, like, kind of nothing changes, but everything changes because the rooms are all still there, but now they interact and work with each other, and they have characters in each room, and you get to see a fully fleshed out Broom and a fully fleshed out talking and moving Hexel, and these things happen in the queue. So the queue may be physically the same thing, but it has a whole new overlaying story, and it's really cool because different rooms interact with each other. You'll see Broom and Hexel together, you see Broom separately, and I think it's going to be a lot more for guests to see before they even get on the ride.
Can you tell us about the technology that you're using for Frau Hexel, Broom, and in the queue?
Sure. So what's real fun is in this one, and in a regional park, it's really fun to get to do a full animatronic figure. The first Hexel that you'll see is a fully animatronic Hexel, moving eyes, blinking eyes, talking, the whole deal. She moves around and says things. It's really fun, and that's going to be a full animatronic. In the second room, we have a Hexel, I have a Broom, and Broom is a limited motion animatronic. It still gets to move around and do stuff. In the station, we get to have these big windows that are active, so things happen behind the windows, and that's a whole other series of gags that happen there, and that's all done through a digital screen that's behind an actual window, so you'll see it through the glass of the real window.
Cool. And have there been any changes to the ride vehicle?
Not a lot. I mean, we'll change it a little bit just to make it so it's new. We have the new logo, that kind of thing, but I don't think the ride vehicle is going to change all that much.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely.